Lost in a twisted world of perils devoid of heroism or pancakes, 3 adventurers discover a man who's lost everything, including his memories. Questing together to right wrongs and regain these memories, the party discovers they've secretly been living in a nightmare. Awakened in a world not their own, filled with wonder, beauty, and danger, our heroes try to piece together the truth of their reality and live a new life of pristine dreams. Formerly Hal, a human rogue tricked into a lone confrontation and killed by a knife to the gut, Nyx is the newly reincarnated Ifrit with a fear of meeting her former's fate. Raised alongside their cousin Salir by their abusive bandit uncle, Rinverhi escaped to a holy life of worshipping the sun deity Sarenrae. But are they truly worthy of the line? Orphaned and trained as a monster hunter with only a seemingly sentient cauldron at their side, Bran Gideon wonders if their years alone will see him become what they trained to destroy. A cloak bearing the symbol of a bear claw is the only clue to the forgotten past of the mysterious Kenopsia wormwood. Has their life been a dream all along? Leading our party through the realms of Dread and Beyond is our game master, narrator, and dream master, GM Chavez. Who trapped our heroes in this nightmare land? Why were our heroes really brought here? In the end, is it all just a dream? We'll find out together, right here, on Pristine Dreams. Welcome, everybody, to Pristine Dreams. Woo!
Woo! Yay! Yay! I love it here.
All right, this is our very first session that we are going to play of Pristine Dreams, which is an idea we had to take a bunch of D&D characters that we were playing in another game and see if we can transfer them over into a different brand new game. So you guys are joining us out there right now on that journey for the first time as we try to figure out how we can incorporate these characters in a whole new and different way. But first and foremost, we'd like to get you guys familiar with not only who we are, but who our characters are. So I'm going to kick it off by starting from left to right. We're going to go ahead and go with Cypher. Please feel free to introduce your character.
Yo!
Yeah!
This is fucking epic.
Oh my god.
This is epic.
This is so cool.
Oh my god.
All
okay.
right. So Cypher, tell us a bit about yourself and your character there.
My goodness. Well, she's just so cool.
Agreed. Yes.
Agreed.
Canon. She's so cool.
I'm surprising the players here too with this artwork I made for them for today's game. So
We
I
are
hope they
so
enjoy
surprised
it.
by everything.
Yeah. Having a time. Having a blast.
So great. I'm gonna throw up.
I know, that's exactly what just happened to me. Like, introduce yourself. All right, so everybody, this is Nyx. I am Nyx. This is not Nyx's voice. That's my voice. So Nyx is the reincarnated rogue. She's an Ifrit who ended up being sort of in a way taking the place of Howl, my precious human rogue. Rinverhi is the one who brought her back, so to speak, but also she is wholly different. So anyway, she's a wild one, so just be careful there.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Nyx, for that awesome introduction there. We're going to move on to Rinverhi. Go ahead.
Yay! So
Yay!
I'm Endo or E, and this is my special little guy, Rinverhi Jahar, Cleric of Paja, who is a fiery sun goddess. good things like mercy and redemption, which he is very into. He had a troubled past when he was younger, and things went kind of wrong for him, but he was given a second chance by a cleric, Aja. And so he's on this path of goodness to spread support and help through the world. A little floating beacon of light. And that's my boy.
All right, and there you have it, Gus.
I love him. Love him so much.
All right, next up. Bran!
Oh, that goes hard. Thank you. Oh, my lad. My good lad. Howdy. Hi, I am Dusk. Yeah, I am Dusk, they, them. Disaster. Here. Howdy. This is my boy, Bran Gideon. Sweet orphan who, may or may not have used his best friend as bait to kill a monster, and thus went on to train as a monster hunter. It's in the past. Totally a past that won't haunt him. He is a very stoic lad who keeps to himself for the most part, and spends his time hunting monsters and traveling the land.
All right, that's Bran.
Yay, Bran!
Yay.
And last but certainly not least, we've got our special K.
Hey, so what if I throw up on the ground?
Oh my
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Okay. Hi. Howdy. Greetings. Salutations. My name is Juno. I use he, they pronouns, and I'm about to cry and throw up all over the ground. This is Kenopsia. Kenopsia Wormwood. Kenopsia is not only a skilled cleric, but is I would say a master in battle, but he is well versed in the in the fog and the blood of war. But the thing is, he doesn't really remember a whole lot about how he got into his trade. All he remembers is his divine deity, Twyla, the goddess of the moon, the stars, travel, and good luck. And good luck was brought upon him when he woke up in the middle of the woods, lost, alone, and injured. And with pretty much no lifeline except his cross, he prayed to the only name that he could remember, and she guided him to safety. And now, Kenopsia is a loyal, devout follower of Twyla and is spreading her name and her word while trying to remember his past and who he is as a person, as he is very confused. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Also, I'm sorry, I got very distracted by all the exclamation points in my name. I just saw that.
I love that. I was staring at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just looked up and I was like, that just threw me out. But yeah, that's Kenopsia. That's my beautiful boy.
Yay!
Yay! Our special
Yay!
That's how you sent it to me, was with a million exclamation points. So that's how you got it right back with a million
Oh,
exclamation
this is a different
points.
applause. Sorry, my applause is different from yours.
You had a banger of an
no.
applause. That's nice. I have a little
Yay!
cheery applause. So that is our cast of characters that we are rocking with tonight here on Pristine Dreams. So without any further ado, we're going to jump right in. See, where we last left our heroes was in a little bit of peril because Kenopsia, right, was out, had teamed up with this new band of adventurers, these other three party members here, and started battling with them and growing with them and learning with them, but still trying to discover the secrets of their past, trying to unravel this mystery of their amnesia, what had happened to them. Some subtle clues were left behind, some gouging and scratching as though they'd been attacked by some giant animal, and a mysterious cloak that Kenopsia keeps with them always, trying to make sure that they have it as a touchstone to maybe perhaps what could be a past of untold fortune. But as fate would have it, on the adventures that they traveled, they ran into an evil basilisk. We've all seen them. They stink. They're terrible. And during the confrontation, Kenopsia was struck by the basilisk and petrified. And that's where we're picking up today's story. As Kenopsia is struck by the basilisk, there is a cold and overwhelming sensation of nothingness. It's odd because you'd think, oh, I'm turning to stone. This would be painful. This would hurt. But it feels like nothing. Like part of you is just fading away. And it slowly starts in your chest and just works its way out. And you just have to slowly watch yourself lose control and freeze in place bit by bit as you try, without hope, to fight off whatever this is. And you silently scream in your mind because your mouth is no longer able to work. You can't draw a breath. You're now completely overtaken. Your eyes become solid rock and completely black. You can no longer hear or see the world around you. You're trapped inside your own mind, and you call out to the ether, to no avail. And there's only one sensation that seems to permeate through all of the nothingness that you're feeling. And that sensation is falling. You just feel like you're falling, not far, not into a chasm, but as though you were just standing on your feet and just lean back in a trust fall. And you feel yourself flying backward, Kenopsia. And you hear this little sound there. I had to push it like 19 times, but it came through.
I heard it the first time, but I'm really glad you pressed it like 9 times.
I didn't hear it at all. I was like, go do your job button over here.
I heard it the first time, but
sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I love the remix on the falling.
Remix falling.
So you fall backwards, and as you do, you feel yourself suddenly smack into something, like someone
Ow.
was there. And
Ow.
you'd think, oh, I'd probably be like really stiff or frozen in place. But no, you feel into a nice warm embrace. And it appears that someone right near you has managed to catch you in the bar that you're in.
Oh, wow.
So you kind of fall into the arms of someone here, and they're cradling you for a second. And you have this sensation of like, oh my gosh, like what just happened? And you start to get a sense of like, wait, am I okay? Am I all right? And the person holding you, right, violently shoves you off. And they're like, what are you doing? Table 12. They're waiting to get their order taken. Quit sitting around here daydreaming. Go. Take their order.
Right away. And
right.
Okay, we'll go ahead and grab whatever order that's being taken.
Go ahead and roll yourself a perception check.
I hate it here. Okay, I can do that. I can roll a perception check. I'm so good at that. Oh, I have a big perception. Hold on. All right. Can I add my plus 18 modifier to this?
For
Can
sure,
I do
yeah.
that? All right, let's fucking go. Gamers, rise up. All right.
Rise up.
Let's roll the dice. Spin that wheel. There's my dice. There they are. Come on, roll. Gonna roll. Come on, gamer. You don't want to roll for me? It really does not want to roll for me right now. Come on, bud.
Don't be shy. Come on. Roll.
Come on, dice. You don't want to roll for me? I have the dice selected. Are you going to do it or not? Thank you. That's a 37.
Oh,
Damn.
all right. So you get a total lay of the land, the sights, the sounds, everything. And a couple of things jump out at you right away. You know this place, right? Of course.
Right.
You know that you work here. This is where you are supposed to be. And you're kind of like, dude, was I just daydreaming? Like some bizarre thing? Like I was fighting a monster or something crazy?
I think I like reach up and like Kay like touches his face for a minute with a free hand and like kind of like pinches himself, making sure that there's no like difference in texture of the skin. Because stone, obviously, when you touch it, it's scratchy, it's rough, it's uncomfortable. But everything's smooth and soft. And Kay is smooth and soft. So was he really just daydreaming? Was he just... It's very disorienting, and I think he's like still thinking about it as he's like taking this order out to the table.
Well, with this baller perception, right, you realize like, okay, I'm in like simple like tavern worker clothes. I don't have any weapons or anything. Like I still feel like myself, you know, my hair, my skin, everything's normal.
Yeah.
But it's like it suddenly dawns on you that you're like, I'm not an adventurer. I'm not a cleric. I'm not anything like that. I just work in this bar. And like, wow, am I glad because I almost got turned to stone or killed or something horrible.
Yeah. I think it was like it was already extremely real, all of the sensations he was feeling, and then suddenly he blinked and it was not happening anymore. Like suddenly this cold feeling and just falling and this tightness in his chest that never seemed to relent, and then suddenly he blinks and he's right here in this bar and he's waiting on tables, and he doesn't remember how he got into this situation, and I don't think he really has a lot of time to dawdle on it because he's just like, what the fuck was that? What did I just do? Well,
there's definitely that sensation of like, you can smell this tavern. You know, you smell the meat in the air, the meat cooking in the back, you know, the sweet smells of pastries and other bakeries. And it dawns on you that, like, as you walk by kind of the fireplace, you know, again, with this 37 perception, that you sense everything here. Where in that daydream, it was like the absence of feeling. You know, and that was that weird part of the petrification as well.
Yeah,
but this,
the deprivation of your senses.
Yeah, this is definitely real, you know? So you start heading over, you know exactly where table 12 is. So you start heading over that way. And as you approach the table, you realize that there's a very unusual looking dude or group of dudes like sitting at this table. And
I hate groups of dudes. Go on.
As you get closer, like that smell hits you and you're just like, oh, dude, I freaking hate it when the Hogfolk come into the tavern.
I didn't know Kay was racist against hog people.
Well, they're rowdy, they're rude, they never tip good.
It might just be this group of hog people. I don't speak for all hog people.
No, these are definitely the hog people that come through, and they're very rude. They don't tip. And you know that they're having some sort of battle nearby, so they always come in like stinky, kind of like they just came from the gym.
Sweaty.
And it's pretty
gross.
And they're all psyched. They're all amped up on adrenaline, and they just want to eat everything. So you're approaching the table, and you can hear them kind of talking amongst themselves. And this one guy here who kind of seems like, you know, the coolest guy in the group is kind of standing there with one leg on a stool, and he leans out and he's talking to the others, and he's like, yes, I chewed right through his bones, crushed them with my bare teeth, felt the sinews between my lips. Oh, wait, here comes the tiny one. Come here, tiny one. And he gestures you over.
Kay, of course, is going to come over because he is, in fact, the tiny one, but I don't think he takes that name kindly. I think his eyebrow kind of like furrows, but he draws near.
So this guy kind of leans down a little bit to talk to you in almost kind of a derogatory way that he's leaning. Like he's over exaggerating that you're only a little bit smaller than him, you know? But he is much wider than you are. This dude is stacked, right?
Oh, yeah. He's broad.
And as he leans down and kind of talks right in your face, the stench is unbelievable. Like, it is rugged.
Right.
Go ahead and roll a fortitude save real quick.
I don't want to roll a fortitude save. I don't wanna. Charles, I don't want to roll a fortitude save. Okay,
You should
I'll
be
roll
good
a
at that.
fortitude save. I think I'll be fine. I don't wanna. I'll do it. Oh, that's a 26.
Okay, that's pretty good, though. All right, so you don't make any kind of like visible recoil. You just do. So I'm going to jump back to me for a second. You do this kind of number where you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yep. Kay is biting very hard on the inside of his cheek.
And
Like-
the hog guy, he kind of leans down to look at you, and he's like, You're a waiter, yes. So, they tell me this tavern serves breakfast all day long. Yes?
Yes.
Then we
you would
want
be right.
the greatest breakfast food of all. Pancakes! Pancakes stuck to the ceiling. Pancakes upon pancakes. Stacks and stacks of them for all of us.
Kay is just like staring at him, and he's gonna like take a head count of how many people are at this table. Right
There's
now.
like 8 of these hog dudes. There's like a lot of them.
8 stacks of ceiling high pancakes. Right.
And they're all,
I'll
now
see
that
what
he
I can
said
do.
that, they're all just like, Rah! They're like drinking their glasses and cheers thing. And they're all,
Kay takes a very like deep breath, just chill out. Just you don't want any trouble. You're here to do your job. You're here to do a job, and then you can leave when this is all over. Hopefully, when your end of the shift is soon, and you can just go home, and then you can lay down and cry about your life for a little while. Yeah, I think Kay is like, I don't see why he would decline, but I don't imagine everybody in the kitchen's gonna be super happy about it.
I think I don't even want to make you roll a check for this. You're very aware that they do not have that much pancakes, but you're pretty sure that like they're probably being a little boastful about how much pancakes they're really going to eat. So you figure, if, we offset it with some ham, some pork or something for the hog folk. It should be all right.
Yeah, exactly. Put some eggs in there. Protein. Really good protein. All right. Yeah. Kay will just like, so I'll get that going for you.
All right. And the guy kind of pays no attention to you, turns his back like he made his order, do your job,
Yeah. Kay like stares holes into the back of his head before he's turning, and I put down this this other thing that I was sent out to deliver.
Well,
put down on the table.
They wanted you to take these people's order, so you didn't walk out with something. You just came out and take the order.
I misunderstood. Misunderstood. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So you've got the order now, and the way the tavern is set up is very much like you see in the photo. There's a big fireplace, lots of tables. On one side, there's a long bar, and the kitchen's behind the bar. So it's kind of like a diner. You'd have to go back behind the bar and tell the people there, like, hey, this is what they want.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna round around the bar. And is there like a little kitchen window, or I have to go back into the kitchen?
You would just tell like the guy behind the bar.
Okay.
He's the guy that kind of woke you up a second ago.
Yeah. All right. Table 12 is requesting apparently pancakes that are stacked to the ceiling. I'm sure this is just hyperbole, but still.
More
I
damn
felt it
pancake orders.
necessary. Yes.
People keep coming asking for pancakes, and he kind of like wanders like away, throwing his hands in the air. He's like, I don't even know what that is. And he starts walking off. He goes back into the kitchen.
Yeah, he's just watching him, and he's just like, how do you not know what you're serving? just like standing there for a minute, just like a little dumbfounded.
Meanwhile, at the very front of the bar, spacow! These big 2 double doors slam open, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in walks this kind of cutesy, kind of tiny little, cloaked figure. And only seems tiny by comparison to the Hogfolk. But over each shoulder has a nice sized deer, right? And you can tell they just went hunting and they came waltzing in here. And as they do, they exclaim to the entire bar, right? It has been a good hunt, right? Who's gutting them, who's skinning them, who's serving them up. And you kind of look over and I'm not going to make you roll a check for this one. Let's ride it out, right? You look over and for this brief second you're like, dude, I know that guy, And you're like,
that guy?
I was literally just having a dream about that guy. Like, I must have seen him before. He must come in here. And like now I had a dream about him. Like, I wonder what that's supposed to mean.
Right.
And the ranger walks in. There's a nice little bearskin rug, walks across it, slams the 2 deer down on a table right there full of people that are cheering because they know they're going to get some deer in a few hours here now. So they're pretty psyched up, and reaches up and pulls back their hood. And as soon as they do, they're smiling like life is good, everything's great. And as soon as they pull back their hood, they look like directly at you to catch your eye. And
oh no.
There's this moment where that person is like slack-jawed, and it's as though someone just hit the pause button on their brain. Like, this person just is like, duh. And
yeah, I would be that way looking at Kay too. It's okay.
You're just like, But they get like, their eyes get big like saucers, and it becomes apparent that they kind of just lost track of like where they are, like they are suddenly extremely confused, and it's almost like they are now almost like frightened of the scenario that they have found themselves in. Right? So Bran, as you're looking around, standing in front of this table with 2 big deer on it, you're kind of like, where the hell am I and what the hell am I doing? But I want you to roll a perception check real quick.
Yeah.
Perception, me boy.
I'm gonna perception so well.
All right, so how'd we do on that check there?
34.
Okay, very good. So you're looking over yourself, and it's like, I know my name is Bran. I know that. I know that I spend a lot of time out in the woods, that I hunt. Did I hunt these animals? And you're kind of looking at your clothes, and you're definitely like a hunter, but you're also like, I don't feel like these are my clothes. Like, these clothes are different. You kind of look at your gear and what's on you, and you have a bow that you don't normally use, and you're just like, what? And the harder you try to look at yourself, it seems like the less you remember who or what you were doing. But you're Bran, and you're a hunter, and I guess I'm trying to make money from these 2 deers.
Yeah, just like Bran is like patting himself down, like taking stock of the situation. She is looking like trying to be very discreet about like looking around like, okay, tavern, hunting deer, obviously, as you said before, selling to make a living.
Yeah. I think Bran is just standing there, like, trying to, like, play it off, not look super confused, but I think Kay just witnessed that moments ago with himself, where it was just like, what the fuck am I doing? And I think he spots this confusion, and I think he will kind of like come around the bar again and just, you can bring those back into the kitchen. Slamming them down along the tables isn't exactly sanitary.
Right.
Yes. Come, I will help you get these to the kitchen. And despite Kay not liking the look of the dead deer, will help Bran move them into the kitchen.
All right. So you two scoop up the deer without much effort, right?
Yeah, we're beef. We're beef.
Yeah,
We're
you guys are
beef.
good to go.
Beef boys.
Bran carried both of them this far, so you can definitely split them up at this point. And as you start taking them back into the kitchen area, I want both y'all to roll me just a generic dexterity athletics type of check.
Dexterity athletics. I can just give you. Would acrobatics do? Or no, wait, no. I literally have a thing called athletics. Oh
Okay.
my god!
Yeah.
I forgot about that. We're doing it. We're gaming, guys. We're gaming. Roll.
So
That's a 19.
Okay.
what's that one?
Oh, nice. Nice.
If it makes you feel any better, I rolled a 3. But I still think I'm pretty good in terms of my roll. Not that bad.
Still like totally out of it, just like still like coming to terms, I guess, and just like fucking whiffs
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So, both of y'all kind of get a handle on it and everything like that. Bran, you're still kind of thinking what the hell am I doing? So you're kind of awkwardly holding your deer, like not really like paying attention to that, but you're trying to get clues from your surroundings more than anything else. And you manage to take the head of your deer, and with the antlers on the far end there, you kind of slap them into like a patron's table and just swipe the antlers like across a table there.
Oh god.
And as you do, of course, the person sitting at that table just gets a shower in their lap of a nice mug of mead that they had. And they kind of pop to their feet, and they're just like, "Oh, damn you! What are you foolish idiot!" Blah, 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 blah.
So sorry.
And they're kind of like just going off for a second. Like they just popped off, right? Like that kind of way where you're like, I'm pretty sure this dude's mad at something else, right? But as they start like wiping themselves off, you see them get this kind of shiver, like they're cold because the meat is pretty chilly. And as they get that kind of shiver, they stop for a second and are just kind of looking back and forth. And they look at you guys and they're just like, they don't really have any idea what just happened or where they're at. They have that same kind of lost and confused look. And they kind of look down for a second at their lap that is now just wet, and they just seem very confused. Like they have no idea what the heck just happened. So, Rinverhi, you are standing in the middle of a tavern with wet pants and a wet crotch.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And you have no idea how that happened, which is unusual. Normally there's some idea of how you got there. But in this particular instance, you're baffled.
It's been a long time since I've woken up wet and confused.
Wow.
Go ahead and roll yourself a perception check.
I'll get something to clean it up. I'm sorry. God.
We have towels in the back. It's all right. We'll fix this. It's okay. We'll even get you a new glass of mead on the house.
Would you happen to have extra pants back in your kitchen? Sorry, perception check. Sorry.
Kay has to think about it really hard. Do we have pants? Do we?
Well, will we get on that perception check?
Be sure to add your modifier, boy.
I did. I think this is 26.
All right, 26. And then, Bran, while I am dealing with Rinverhi, roll yourself a reflex check as well. So you got 26. You're kind of looking around. You're wiping off your pants, and as you're doing that, you're like, this is totally going to stain my pants because they're normally like a very, like they're this nice white linen, and I'm going to mess up my tunic and everything. And you're just kind of looking, and you're like, wait, I'm not even wearing white pants. I don't have a white tunic, a white shirt, nothing. You know, you're just like, no, I'm just wearing like regular, like workman's clothes because I'm a regular worker. What the heck was I thinking? And you're like, oh, you see the mug there spilled over, and you see the person you're sitting with, and you're like, oh, this is like, I work with this guy. We work in a mine, you know, and we just hack away at rocks all day. So I don't need to worry about my pants. I don't freaking care, you know?
Yeah, like this realization sets in Rinverhi, like, right. I don't know why I'm so worried about my clothes. It doesn't matter. Covered in dirt from being in the mines. And he looks to Bran and Kay, who are panicking and are just like, and she's just like, you know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it. I think the most pressing matter is who's going to replace my drink.
That would be me.
That would be appreciated.
And yeah, Kay will. Kay obviously is holding a deer still, but Kay just kind of motions to the deer and just, let me set this down, and I'll be right with you. And looks at Bran, who has again kind of fucking whiffed it with like getting this deer, kind of just like giving him the side eye, but making sure that he's got a grip on it as he's like starting to drag it back into the kitchen area.
Is actively looking apologetic.
Did Bran, did you just rock a natural 20 on that? On that reflex?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So yeah.
Beef boy at it again.
You said you were like, oh, let me get you something to clean that up. And you kind of whip that deer around, like back over your shoulder in an action that's very like familiar, like muscle memory familiar. And you slap it up there, and you turn to the table behind you, and you grab someone's like napkin, you know, because they have this big cloth napkin, and you just yank it right out from underneath like their glass, their plate, all of their silverware. And you're just like, Bill! And it just pops out perfect. Doesn't move hardly anything this person had in front of them. And you kind of give it a little twirl around, and you hand it off to Rinverhi in a nice little fold now. You kind of made a little swan out of it. Pow! There you go.
Wow. Yeah, Kay is like perplexed by this, because compared to this show, the skill of like showsmanship, and compared to the absolute fumble he just did a minute ago, Kay just kind of blinks and is just like, impressive.
And Rinverhi also like watching this, like, okay. And he'll take the folded thing, and he looks Bran like up and down, and like, took you for a ranger, but you seem to be something of a showman, professional waiter. Starts to dab the mead off of his clothes.
Just starts blushing a little, of like, yeah, just a ranger, just good with my hands. It's all.
I have a feeling you're selling yourself short. Thank you.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, Kay is like staring at them. I was just kind of like shifting between the two of them before he's just like, come on, into the kitchen. And he will turn and
mind the horns. He calls out.
Don't worry, I'm better at this than he is. As Kay disappears back into the kitchen.
All right, so you all start heading back into the kitchen, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up our area map at this point. So let's take a look at that.
I love area map.
Area map, let's go.
I love area map.
Area map is my best friend.
All right.
Oh, wait, let me stop. Sorry.
We're going to remove our fog of war so you guys can get a feel for the tavern itself there.
Boy.
Right. And I'm going to take first pick and kind of place you guys where you're at this point.
Yeah.
So, Bran, you are moving into the kitchen here with Kay. And you're going to have to walk behind the bar And this area here is actually the door that leads back into the kitchen. Okay?
Okay, cool. Yep.
All right. Rinverhi, you were sitting at this table here where when Bran came by, knocked all that stuff onto your lap over there. All right, so at this point, the Hogfolk behind you are still reveling. They're getting antsy for their food. You can tell they're starting to arm wrestle and do silly stuff, knocking over plates and bowls and things on the floor. They're getting a little rowdy. And you figure, man, we got to start getting them some food pretty quick. But Rinverhi, you're like, okay, I'm good, but I got to wait for my next round to come in. So I guess I got to wait for those two boyos to get their deer taken care of there.
Yeah.
Right. Come with me, Bran. Let's go into the kitchen and do normal boy stuff. Yay.
Yay.
You're using your
Those
pointer,
two
bud.
normal boys.
Using your pointer.
Oh, right. Fuck.
Yep.
Where are the hog folks sitting?
There are the majority of the Hogfolk are kind of sitting right over here.
Ah, okay.
Oh, Dusk, I should let you know. You can also move your thing with your arrow keys.
Oh.
Look, I'm so elegant. Look, I'm dancing. Look, Bran, I'm dancing around you. Look, Bran.
All right, so you guys head into the kitchen area
there.
there.
Pancake on the state? No, this is not pancakes. This looks like pancakes, though. I got really excited.
There's no such thing as pancakes. But the merchants, there's a couple of
these non-pancake worlds.
the merchant chefs are in here, and they are, hard at work cooking up other meals and their pancakes and stuff that they're getting going. When they see you guys come in with these big deer, and they're like, "Whoa! Oh, great kills!" And they're like, "Bran, you brought us another good one. Excellent, yes." And they're like, "Take them back to the back table, and we'll start breaking them down."
All right. I'm assuming the back table would be this little thing back here, right?
It's this one back here with this other merchant, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. With that in mind, Kay is going to move towards the table, carefully going out of his way to avoid anyone, and boop, slaps it down.
All right. So go ahead and make another athletics check to try to set this down gentle-like and not go smashing this table all apart where these chefs are working.
You don't want me to do anything cool. No. All right, I got this. Where's my dice? Where am I? 20. I have a... What's my... 16. 1 second, please. Roll that dice. Spin that wheel. That's a 27.
Nice. All right. So you definitely kind of wha-blam it down right where it should go. And everything on the table kind of bounces a little bit as it thuds down on the wood. But as it thuds down, right, it has this very heavy thump, And for an instant, all the sound around you just disappears. And you just hear that thump. And it's oddly reminiscent of something. And it takes you a second as you kind of peel your hands away from the carcass that you feel across its like hooves, as you're kind of pulling your hand away from its leg, and you feel that really hard, smooth texture of the hoof and that sound. And you're suddenly overwhelmed by that sensation of petrification, that thud as you were kind of falling over. You hear it in your head. You're like, no, I did fall. I hit the ground just like that.
Yeah.
And I was smooth just like this. Go ahead and roll a will save.
Oh, boy. You got it. Whatever you want. 20 modifier. Okay. That's a 36.
Okay. All right, so you take a step back in kind of like a little bit of a panic, and you bump your waist on that table behind you. Boom! And as soon as you hit that table behind you, the things that are on it are all kind of glass and little bowls and things, and they clink together in a way that's very reminiscent of only eating at a tavern.
Yeah.
So as soon as those things clink together, that sound pops back in around you of the room, and your heart kind of starts slowing back down, and you're just like, whoa, what was that all about?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Kay kind of like massages his temple with his free hand, just kind of looks perplexed. His free hand just kind of like rubs over his chest in like this small like circular motion, trying to just like calm himself down before his hands lower back to his side, trying to regain composure. I'm just like,
Are you okay?
Peachy, put it down, and motions to the table.
Does it? Bran does as he's told.
All right, go ahead and roll your athletics check as well.
Don't fuck this up, Bran!
Listen. I'm a beef. I'm a beef.
You're beef! You're beef! 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 Hold on, wait, don't say anything yet. Beef. There's that. Alright. Charles, be my guest.
All right, so what'd you get there? It's 27, I think? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So you slam the carcass down just right in line with the one that Kay set down. No problems there. Everybody's happy. The chefs start going to work. I mean, dude, they got them knives out and they're just hacking this thing up. They're getting ready to go. And as they're working on that, one of them kind of gestures to you, Bran, and they're just like, "Oh, go back in the pantry. They were cooking up a stew. See if they want us to put some meat in it, or if it's too late. Is it too vegetable-y already?" They're kind of laughing for a second.
Brad nods and moves to go do such a thing.
So oddly enough, Bran, as when this guy tells you that, you're like, I know exactly the room he's speaking of. That he's talking about this room back in this area here, where they have these barrels and things like that. Typically is where they're mixing sauces and broths and liquids and things like that. So you're like, okay, I do this all the time. Everything's totally cool. This is fine. Everything's fine. And one of the chefs on the opposite table there kind of taps Kay on the back and is like, order up, table 9. And he hands you
right
a plate with some really some funky looking stuff. It's a little it's a little slop looking. It's definitely not the most elegant of meals.
No.
But smells damn good.
Yeah. Kay, well, hey, sometimes food's just like that. It doesn't look appetizing, but it actually is. Kay will make a face, but it smells pretty good, so he's gonna trust it, and he's gonna take it and go out to the he will kind of shoulder past Bran a little bit, not forcefully, but their shoulders would touch as he is going out, but he doesn't make any move or motion to say anything. He's bringing the food out. He's got a job to do.
All right. As you kind of get to about here, the bartender that you saw earlier, he's he points over to Rinverhi, and he's like, he says we owe him a drink.
Yes.
And he takes a mug and he dips it into a big barrel behind him. Bloop. And he fills it up, and he sets it down, and he looks at the food in your hand, and he says, "Is that for table 8?
Table 9.
Table 9? Ugh."
Yes.
And he dunks it kind of halfway in and pulls it out where there's still it's not full all the way up. And then he grabs a ladle and puts water in the rest of the cup.
Yeah, somebody's had too much to drink.
And he sets it down there, and he's like, "For table 9.
Heard. And Kay, in his elegance, his demeanor, is going to. I think he's going to go drop off the drinks first.
Okay.
And Barry's like right over there, so he is gonna and he's gonna take his little cup, and he's gonna yes, and we'll set it down in front of him. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Hopefully it isn't spilled this time.
Die first. Hopefully not. I don't see any more deer coming through. But
Hopefully not.
Seems a bit rowdy in here tonight. And he'll look over at the hog people.
Yeah, Kay kind of like eyes them as Rinverhi mentions it and just, yes, I don't have much time to dilly-dally, so.
Yeah, they seem to be excited about something I've never heard before. Pancakes?
Pancakes. Yes, pancakes.
What even is that? And he'll just take a long drink from
Kay. Kay just kind of just like stands there, just like, do I know what pancakes are? Like, there's this moment, like, there's
roll
this
to know
moment
pancakes?
Of, like, roll to know pancakes? Roll inspection? Yeah, just like looks very introspective for a second and just like, I don't know either. And he'll turn around and just goes to deliver the beer to or the meat to table 9.
Table 9 is this one right here in the corner.
Yeah. Table 9. Okay, we'll come over and set it down with a gentle clunk.
So, Bran, we're gonna stop you right here at the at the pig table, hog table there.
Oh no, Bran, no, Bran, no!
As you're moving past the hog table, you're just like, hey, life is good, everything's great. I'm kind of contemplating this environment that I'm in, and you're like, yeah, this all seems right, and you're just like. And you're like, bro, like that smell. It's like, oh my God. And you suddenly are like, you're like giving them this like wide berth of like, oh, I'm going to walk like as close to this wall as humanly possible. And the two guys are arm wrestling right there in front of you. And right as you're kind of going by, the one guy slams the others down. He jumps up and leans way back and is kind of like blocking your path now to keep going where you're going. And they're all kind of reveling for a second and cheering. And you find yourself like you're stuck with all these people around you just cheering and shouting and going on. And
this is a personal hell.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. And one of the hog people just is like, and he reaches back and he sees you and he puts his arm around your shoulder and like sucks you in like right up into his armpit, so your face is like in that little wet hairy armpit up there. And it's so bad, dude. But he sucks you in right there and he's like, yes, maybe if you eat enough pancakes you'll grow up big and strong too. A
fun time to mention, like, Brad is like 6'4".
These dudes are big. They are big. Yeah. So you're probably like on size with these guys, but they're thick,
Yeah.
But this dude, he's got you like pulled in like that, and he starts patting you on the chest, and he's like, you have good bones. Maybe we make a hog out of you yet. And he's like kind of snorting at you a little bit there.
That's incredible. I hate it. I don't. I think Brandon's just thinking like, oh, okay, I want out of here, and I am thinking violence.
Well, I'll give you this as a choice. Do you like feign revel with them, like woo, or do you just try to get the hell away from them?
Feign revel.
Okay. So you're just like, oh yeah, oh, yes, oh, big pork, woo. And as you do that, like, just roll a will save. Let's do that. Roll a will save.
$33.
All right, 33. Great, good job. So you have this moment where you're just taken over with this like, yeah, and you're just like slam on the table right there, and you pick up someone's drink and you kind of just splash back a chunk of it, and you throw the cup on the ground, and you're just like super amped, you know, and you're so chunked all of a sudden. And like one of the pig dudes is like, he's like, what the hell? You know? And he's just like, what? And he's like, rah! And he like starts snorting at you, and you're like, fuck it. You start snorting right back, and you're just like, and you guys are doing this thing. And then the guy's like busting you in the chest, so you're busting him in the chest right back. And you have this moment where like you're into it, and you're so into it, and you kind of puff your chest out, and you look down, and you're like, you can see your you know, big pink muscles of your own, just like these pig people, you know, and you start to realize that you're the one making those grunty, weird noises. And it's like, if you're not careful, you'll be what you hunt. You'll turn into these animals if you spend enough time with them. And you have that revelation, and you're kind of disgusted with yourself in that moment, but manage to just kind of take it in and be like, what the hell am I doing?
Leaves immediately.
Now, just as you kind of start to slink away, let's have all three of our gentlemen in the bar roll a reflex check.
Got it.
Boy.
Reflex?
Yes.
1 second.
Sweet. Plus 19.
Can I please get a dice roll? That's a
Pretty
25.
36.
All right.
33.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
So the
For level
big
10?
the big double doors just blast open. Boom, you know, like that's bad turn of phrase, right? They're not like blown open or exploded or something. Someone just throws them open violently.
Yeah, they throw them open with a lot of gusto.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. And in a weird way, there's this vacuum pull of air in the room because an extreme amount of heat just got sucked in from outside. And everyone in the bar is like, holy shit. And it's like the way that vacuum sucked those doors, they slam against the walls so hard that everybody in the bar kind of takes a moment to be like, yo, what the hell? Rinverhi, there's the guy that you're with who's drinking, who just kind of goes, whoa! And he just spills his whole drink in your lap right there.
Ah, damn it, not again!
I even moved to a different seat. How did this happen?
Bran, you're a little bit frozen in place as the other pig people are all like, you know, and down in the far corner over there, Kay, you're kind of just like, whoa, you got to snap your head around because you're trying to set that food down for this other customer, but you're like, oh, geez, like you were going to drop it. And you kind of look back for a second, and you guys see standing in the doorway, self-illuminated, is this gorgeous, badass Ifrit. Hey, just blooming with fire behind them, heating up the entire bar with just their very presence.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they just walk into this like any runway model you've ever seen in your life. Just stepping on the ground so hard you'd swear it was chipping away as they came in. And they just come strutting in like so baller, and they're flipping around this like badass scimitar thing that they have, you know? And they're flipping it around for a second, and they just chuck it into the far wall, and it goes boom and just splits in half a dartboard, you know? And in behind them walks about 6 or 8 of these giant fellow Ifrits, you know, some of them with their hair just straight up ablaze, all of them looking like total chads. Like these dudes are like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, we're here. You know, and they're like literally like bowing up on people when they come in, you know, like they want that table over there. So they're just like, you know, and people are like, oh, dude, all right, we don't want no trouble, you know?
Loud, yeah.
And Nyx comes walking up, and a dude just spins a chair around so that she can just kind of just walk up and sit right in it, and it's just looking straight back at the back of the bar where the guy behind the bar, the bartender, I couldn't think of the word bartender, where the bartender is standing back there, and she calls out like, rounds for the whole bar, right? And everyone starts like
Cheers
blowing
to
up and
that.
going nuts, right?
Yeah.
And raises his tankard like, all right.
All the guys around are kind of just like, yo, yeah. And they're just like, oh, yeah. And the woman kind of glances across from the bartender and just catches eyes with you, Rinverhi, and sees you kind of be like, oh, thank you. And tip your, tankard, one of the only still full tankards around, up at her. And Nyx, as you're looking down, you see this person, and in an instant you're like, who the hell is this? I know that guy. And it's this weird feeling because you're like, where do I know him from? Why would I know him? I don't know anybody like him. And you start looking around at the dudes that you're with, and you're like, these are my boys. These are my guys. I don't know that dude. That dude looks like a wimp.
Who's that fucking guy? Wimpy ass.
Yeah.
Wet pants McGee over here.
And there's this like feeling inside you where you're just kind of like, I wouldn't know someone like him. Like, he's not a warrior. He's not a badass. He's just some miner guy in a town, you know? And you're like, so you instinctively just give him like a stank ass look. But by the same token are like, this doesn't seem right. Like, something's wrong. And you know that you're a warrior and you're fighting with these freaking hogmen on a big battlefield nearby, but you can't remember why. And all of a sudden, that reveille that your boyos have, you're kind of taken out of. And you suddenly feel like, maybe I don't belong with these guys either.
Okay, should I just go ahead and move her?
Yeah, I'll put you over at this table here because you just bucked everybody off this table.
When Rinverhi he gets that stank look from Nyx, he looks taken aback for a second, but he smiles and just like turns his head away and drinks from his tankard like, I don't want any trouble.
Probably wise.
I'm sure that gives her like in this moment of mystery for her. That smile, it definitely means something, but she's not sure what. So she's just gonna go ahead and throw her arms up in the air and say, "Who's hungry?"
And the hog people are just like, pancakes, pancakes, pancakes. And they're just
pancakes.
Kay is like over in the corner, and he's literally just like taking it, like he's just standing there, taking it back, still holding these people's food, and he's just like, okay, I have to set this down before I lose my fucking mind. So again, he would put the stuff he's holding down on the table and just enjoy your meal, and just has to back away for, I think he just backs into just against the wall for a minute and just kind of just like has to stand there just like, oh my god, this is so much. There's so much happening right now, and I'm so overwhelmed.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a reflex check real quick.
I'll roll you 7 reflex checks if you want. Here, I'll do it whatever you want.
Reflex checks.
Here you go. That's a 29.
A 29. All right. So you set the food down kind of absent-mindedly. Like, you're not really like looking at what you're setting down. You're adept enough where you successfully get this food in place where it's supposed to be. And as you start to back away, you're kind of like watching this crowd on the other side of the room that could potentially be very volatile. Because although you know that these hogfolk and Ifrits like fight together, there's a very good chance they haven't got all the fight out of them for the day, you know? And as you start to kind of back up against the wall, you feel a hand just catch your sleeve, right? And just pull you kind of hard. And you look over at this lone patron of table 9. And you see this lad sitting there, This older, distinguished gentleman.
Hi. Sorry. Go on.
You're just like, hello. No.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really like look up. He's got his cloak like down. You can't see his eyes, right? You just see his little salt and pepper beard sticking out the bottom there. And he's holding on to your arm there, and he kind of like pulls you a little bit, like not to pull your body, but just to be like, come close, you know?
I come closer, yeah.
You kind of lean in, and with, you know, without another motion, he just snarls at you, and he says, "You tell your man behind the bar, if he serves me another watered-down drink, we're going to have problems." And he just slides the drink back over to you and lets you go.